Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you're new, a big welcome to you all. In today's tutorial, we're going to learn how to draft a men's trouser pattern. I'm so excited because we're going to take few time off from female wears and we're going to look on the side of a man. So let's learn how to convert a plain paper into a trouser pattern. So if you're ready, I'm ready. So I've got my necessary tools and the measurements required when taking a men's trouser measurement. The waist measurement, the hip depth, the hip, the crotch, the thigh, the knee length, the round knee, the round ankle, and the full length. So if necessary, I might add some papers to get the full length of the trouser because the paper I'm working with is not up to the measurements required. So our measurements are divided by 4. That is your waist and your hip. Your thigh is divided by 2. And I'm working with a band height, professionally, band height of 1.5 inches. So that 1.5 inches measurement for the band, you're going to remove it from the hip depth measurement, the crotch measurement, the knee length measurement, and the full length measurement. What I mean is your hip depth measurement, whatever it is, you minus it from 1.5. Same goes to your knee length, same goes to your full length, and same goes to your crotch. So I'll be working or starting with my hip depth. So from my point 0, the starting line, I'm going to measure my hip depth. My hip depth, I'm using 8 minus 1.5. So I'm left with 6.5. So I'm going to mark 6.5 in my paper. Yes, and I'm working in inches rather. So this is my crotch, my hip depth, sorry. My hip depth. 8 minus 1.5, that's 6.5. So after the hip depth measurement, I'll take my crotch measurement. So my crotch is 11.5. So 11.5 from 1.5, that's 10. So I'll measure 10 as my crotch height, 10 inches. Then my knee length is 21. The measurement I'm working with, the knee length is 21. So 21 from 1.5 is 19.5. That is my knee length. Nineteen point five. So after taking my knee length measurement, I'm going to take my full length. So my full length is 39. 39 from 1.5 inches. I'm left with 37.5. So I'm going to measure 37.5. Okay, like I said earlier, I'll end up joining additional paper because I'm not able to get the desired length. So after joining the paper, extra additional paper to it, I am taking my full length measurement, and that is 37.5. 37.5. So the hip measurement is 41 divided by 4. So that's 10.25. So I'm going to take the hip measurement on the crotch line, on the hip depth line, and on the waist line. 10.25. Then I'm connecting a straight line. Then my crotch measurement, or my thigh measurement. My thigh 26 divided by 2, that's 13. So I'll measure 13 on the crotch line. 13 is what is going to be on the crotch line. So my thigh measurement is going to be on the crotch line. Then I would point out from this angle 3 cm. 3 cm. Then the reason why I use my hip measurement on the waistline is because I can either use a pleat. If you look at all these professional English trousers, most of them come with a pleat or a dart. So when you take out your adjusted waist measurement from the hip measurement, the excess you have, you can use it as your pleat or your dart, or you can cut it out. But I prefer men trousers to not have any of them. So what I'm going to do now is make an adjustment on the waistline. So I will no longer be using the hip measurement as my waist measurement. So what I'm going to do now is the waist measurement, which is 30 divided by 4, that's 7.5. So from here, from this 0.0 line, I'm going to measure 7.5. 7.5. Then with my curve, I'm going to connect the lines. Okay, before I forget, it's very important on your hip line, the line connecting the hip measurement, the crotch measurement, and the waist. We measure 2.5 inches, so you know where your curve is taking place. So I'm just going to do that here. Then I'll connect it here. So this is the measurement. Men don't usually have that hip shaping the way female trousers usually do. So on the knee length line is where I'm going to take my round knee measurement. So on that line first, I'm going to come in by 1 inch. I'm going to come in by 1 inch. So from this 1 inch, I'm going to take my round knee measurement, which is 16.5. So when I divide that by 2, I'm having 8.25. So here I'm going to measure 8.25. 8.25. Then I'm going to connect a straight line from the crotch to the knee length. I'm also going to do the same here from the crotch line also to the knee length. This is the English trouser for men. Then for the round knee, sorry, the round ankle, that's the bottom part, I'm going to come in by, here I came in by 1 inch, so here I'm going to come in by 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches here. It's going to give it a nice shape. So I'm going to now, from this 1.5, start my round ankle measurement, which is 12 divided by 2, that's 6. So I'm just going to measure 6 here. And my ruler, I'm going to connect this line to this line. And this to this. Then I'm also going to add my hem allowance to my paper. So I'm going to be working with allowance of 1.5 inches. So when I take my 1.5 inch here, so this is my hem. Then from the hemline, I'll measure about 1 inch or half, or 0.75. Let's just use 0.75 on both sides. So I'm going to connect like this. This is to enable when I cut on the trouser and I'm sewing, it would reach, or it will go round on my trouser. I won't end up having a shortage on the hemming. So I will now trim off any allowance or any excess that I have on my trouser. So this is very important to always add when patterning them. Lest I forget, I would just like to ship in some sharp parts here. Then from the waistline, because men's trousers are usually low waist, so I'm just going to come down by 2 cm. 2 cm. And connect it back to my starting line. So this is what I'm having. So this is the front trouser pattern. Very simple to try out. So I'm going to show you how to use your front trouser pattern to cut out the back. So I'm going to cut out now and place on another paper to cut the back and show you how the back pattern looks and how different the back trouser is from the front, why they are not the same. So after cutting out, this is how the front pattern of my male trouser is looking like. You can see it well. Then I'm going to get a second paper and I will place the front pattern on it. Then I'm also going to have to add additional paper because this is not going to reach for the back. Having placed my front pattern on a separate paper, I'm going to show you how to use the front to cut the back. It's very easy. You don't even have to start drafting or taking measurements again. So all you need to do is, on your waistline, you're going to measure 2 inches all the way till you get to the crotch. And the crotch, because most people usually have issues with it, so to avoid that, you can add extra 2.5 inches or 3, but I prefer using 2.5 inches. So that means from my waistline to my crotch line is 2 inches. Then the crotch extension is 2.5 or 3 inches. Then my tie down to my full length is 2 inches back. The purpose of this measurements that I'm calling out is your seam allowance. So if you're working with this measurement, that means you're going to sew with half an inch. Half an inch is what you're going to be using if you're using this measurement. And if you want extra or additional allowance on your trouser, you can increase the measurement to 4. So you just measure out 4.5, 4 down. That means you're going to be sewing with 1 inch, but to avoid extra excess on your material, 2.5 on the crotch extension and 2 down to the full length. So you're left with sewing with half an inch. So after connecting that, I'm going to use my ruler to just draw out the lines well. This is the easiest way to use your front pattern to cut out your back. So this is the back pattern, and there is one important factor to consider when you're doing your trouser pattern. There's always an upgrade on the back to accommodate the bump. So for any body size, you can use 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches. So that means on this waistline towards the crotch, you're going to measure upwards 1.5 inches and connect it. When you measure the 1.5, you connect it back to the point of your waist, the starting point of your waist. So I'm just going to cut out now my back pattern and show you how it looks. So after cutting, this is the finished result of my trouser pattern, the front and the back. I traced out the lines to the back and I also marked it out. The front, the back. Don't forget to always add your 1.5 inch extension towards the back to accommodate the bump. So this is how you use the front trouser pattern to cut out the back. Very simple and worth giving a try. So Till my next video, wherever you are, please be safe. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified when I release my next video.